Hello, this is Rory with the Love Chat, and today's topic is my ex is dating. Now, this is video number 179. If you have a question you'd like for me to consider featuring on the channel, please write it in a comment below. And if you enjoy my videos, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Also, if you'd like to do a Skype or email coaching, just visit my website, thelovechat.net/coaching. Now then, my ex is dating. When you're going through a breakup, these are some of the most harmful words that you can hear. The idea that your ex is dating somebody else triggers all of these different mechanisms of abandonment and of hopelessness. Whether they're true or not, it's not even in the question, right? Because all we can think of is, I just went through a breakup, it's been a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and my ex is now dating somebody new. Does this mean my chances are shot forever? And then we begin thinking about all of these different terms that enter the mix, right? We have rebound relationships. We have monkey branching. We have, maybe they're just using this to distract themselves. Maybe they are not ready for a relationship at all. Then, of course, on the flip side, we'll say, no, these two are going to get married and have beautiful children, and my shot is done, and I'm never going to have this person back in my life ever. What do I do? But the whole point is that just because your ex is dating somebody right now does not mean they'll be dating that person forever. And the things that you do and choices that you make during these next couple of weeks to months that they are dating this person are going to be critical for several reasons. A, as always, this channel is always primarily focused on your healing as a person and your growth as a person, and it is not nearly as concerned with reconciliation. It has to be that way. Why? Because we've learned, do not put all of your obsession into a person. Do not put all of your hopes and needs into a person, because you can't control people, right? You can control yourself and what you do. So if you have this idea that they're dating and I'm going to be sad forever and I'm never going to get them back, not only is it incorrect, but it's based out of fear. And part of our work as people who actually like ourselves is how to metaphorically talk ourselves down from this ledge. And so we turn to healthy behaviors. And learning to self-soothe in a way that's actually healthy for us is one of those behaviors that will help us successfully navigate through a breakup. Now, the video's about your ex being with somebody else. So let's get to those types of questions. Will your ex be with this person forever? There's no way to know, but the likelihood and the numbers suggest probably not. Depending on when they get into a relationship is a big variable, right? So if they're getting into a relationship a week after you guys broke up, it's a rebound. I don't care what they felt for you. I don't care how they were with you after the breakup. Because even if they've checked out of the relationship weeks earlier, or maybe even months earlier, their brain does not necessarily consider those patterns. You have to remember that, moreover, the romantic section of the relationship was the companionate section, especially with relationships that are longer. So what am I really saying here? I'm saying that romance is not the only reason your partner was with you. I'm saying that you were a companion. You were a person in their lives whom they relied on the most for companionship through life. And so when they walk away from you, saying things like, oh, I've already checked out of the relationship, well, you have to remember that they've checked out romantically, right? They don't look at you and see you as somebody they want to have sex with or go on fun dates with. But you were somebody who has been a companion in their life for years. And what's important to remember is that the brain gets used to routine. It gets used to patterns because that really sells security to our brain. So they remove you from their life, and their routine that they're used to every day has now been disrupted. Whether they wanted to be in that routine or not, there is something to be said about that structure. Consider a high schooler. You're in school, and you're doing it for 4 years, and then one day it's taken away from you. You feel sort of out of place, but at first you feel very free. So I think that's a very good example that I think everybody can relate to, because you have this big thing in your life kind of pushing you down and saying you must do this every day, whether you want to or not. And then once it's removed from you, you kind of miss it, and you miss the stability that it brought to your life. And so this is no different. Now, they're likely in another relationship right now because they missed the romantic side of things. But in this channel, we've discussed how to revitalize the romance and the attraction, but you have to give it that time and you have to give it space. So while they're off dating this new person and you're backing away, giving them the time and the space, The main worry is that they will not romantically miss you, and they may not for some time. They may not ever again, but they will miss you as a companion, as a person in their life. And so, sometimes you'll see them reach out, and they'll try and be your friend, while they're with another person. Now, you already know this doesn't work for you, especially when they're dating somebody else. But for those of you who are maybe new to the channel, I'm just going to repeat it here. Do not ever be friends with your ex, especially if they're dating somebody new. So ultimately, the big fear is, if your ex is with somebody else, they're probably going to be with that person forever, and you've probably lost your shot. It's not true. Maybe your fear is telling you it's true, but when has your fear ever told you anything really useful? In relationships, almost never. And so it's important to remember that many of these fears that you're having are self-created, and they're almost self-sabotaging because you find yourself in a gray zone. Gray zones hold no structure. They hold no predictability. And like I said earlier, human beings love our routines. We love our structure. So you're tossed into this giant gray zone where you don't know what's going to happen next, wondering what the hell to do. Should I reach out? Should I try and get them back? Should I remain in their life as a friend? Or should I walk away? But if I walk away, how am I going to win them back? Well, I mean, while I'm not going to crack open every one of those eggs because I have like 180 videos that do exactly that, it's important for you guys to remember that when you operate from fear, the likelihood that you create the very thing you're afraid of skyrockets. If your ex is with somebody else, get out of the way. Gracefully bow out of their life. Don't talk to them. Let them have this new relationship. The more that you are in the way, reminding your ex that this was a good idea and worrying about this new relationship, the more airtime you give it and the more life it gets. So if you want this relationship that they have, rebound or not, to be out of the way so you have a greater chance, leave them alone. Let them go through this by themselves and decide for themselves if this was a good situation for them or not. And take that time to, you guessed it, work on yourself. That's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Please leave a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover in the future. Additionally, if you'd like extra videos every week, private live streams with me, and free giveaways of my book, just visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/thelovechat. Until next time.